They are only letting me. Alright, welcome to the preview of the next Discussion Zone. I'm Mikey Edwards for TMR. Let me delve into this because apparently I only have 15 minutes to cover all of this, plus the news from the last few days. First, I want to get to the news quickly. Of course, weather has been completely crazy. Soaking rains and major thunderstorms around the eastern coast and the eastern seaboard have caused flooding and travel trouble up and down Pennsylvania and south in like Maryland and Virginia. So it has been not the greatest. Or in Jersey. Jersey had state of emergency earlier this week. In business, the high volatility of the stock market has high volatility of the markets overseas and in the States, and of course the whole economic crisis still continues as stocks continue to either fluctuate or fall. Sports, of course, will be delving into that a lot within the next couple weeks. Football back in season. Well, preseason right now, and baseball in full swing, gearing up for the playoffs. Some national news: Burger King has fired the, little pop culture. Burger King fired the King. It was a good marketing tool, but apparently it was scaring people, I guess. I don't know why, but I just find it funny that they get rid of the mascot because I mean, Burger King, a king for burgers. Hello. You got Ronald McDonald for McDonald's. Hello. You want to compete. You think that would work? Local news. Speaking of Burger King, Jefferson Township, I found out from an insider, aka my mother. Thank you, Madre, for giving me birth on this wonderful day, too. So, the big 2-4 for me. So, today, so thank you. Over 200 wall posts on Facebook so far. So, I've lost track as to completely the exact count. I gotta recount again. It'd take me forever. So, again, foundation work beginning on the new Burger King. So those of you living in Mount Cobb, Jefferson Township, get ready for a fast food place closer than Hamlin. Let's see. Scranton, Phoenix, Scranton's the new Sonic Drive-In opens up for you guys. So, reported on WBRE, thanks to the evening news, thanks to my mother for relaying this information to me as well, that the Sonic Drive-In opened up, so, and they do have good food. I have tried their food. Phoenixville, of course, Valley Forge Christian College, where I am now, is preparing for this upcoming academic year, 2011-2012. Excited for the incoming freshmen. Hopefully they can get a look at this broadcast, so that way we have new Mikey Report viewers. Alright, okay. And of course sports I'll get to in a second. Ooh, that went pretty far. Alright. Now, I've invited Bo Miller, Glenn Carocchio, and Aaron Stewart to join me on the next upcoming Discussion Zone, where we will be talking Major League Baseball. The playoffs are just about just a little over a month away, and we need to find out the big questions. First, I'll actually go from the west over to the east, because the east has some of the biggest headlines as always. First, on the west divisions, American League. Will Texas repeat as the American League champions? They won it all all for the American League last year. Didn't capitalize on it in the World Series. They lost to the Giants. And so, will Texas be able to repeat with the Yankees and the Red Sox and either Tigers or Indians battling out? So we'll see what happens. The AL Division Series is on Fox, and I believe Championship Series is as well. National League, you are on TBS. So, Phillies fans, I'm sorry, but you gotta try to find a way to watch on TBS. Unless my PHL 17 decides to have the games as well, if possible. National League West, will Giants make up ground, or does the being 2.5 back of the Diamondbacks, or does that beard need a trim? Of course, the beard being Brian Wilson. Well, actually, he won't need a trim, but he does need some realignment, as his saves have not been coming in a consistent fashion. Of course, 2.5 back, you expect, and being World Series champs, you expect to be there. But we'll see what happens. I'm not going to delve too much into it because of time restraints, for one. For two, we need everyone else to talk about it, not just me. And will the Diamondbacks strike the heels of their opponents in the playoffs? If the Diamondbacks actually make it to the playoffs, if the Giants don't pass them out, because it looks like the Braves have complete control of the wild card, will Diamondbacks be able to make the impact, especially to dent the Phillies or the upstart Brewers right now? Because the Brewers they're either for real or surreal, as my question puts. Are the Brewers for real, or is their run surreal? As the Brewers, who have passed out the Cardinals for first place and have a decent lead, are they going to be for real, or waking up from a hangover when playoffs hit? So, we'll see what transpires there. And in the American League, will the Cleveland Indians, who are 2.5 games back now, had a great start to the season, will they be able to catch the Tigers and Justin Verlander and the Tigers? Those are some of the key questions. But of course, in the Eastern divisions, those are the biggest ones. They will have the wild cards and the Eastern Division leaders, it looks like, according to standings I've seen. Can the Braves make a dent in the Phillies' armor? The Braves have a great bunch of players: Chipper Jones, Brian McCann, Dan Uggla. Will they be able to make the dent into the Phillies' starting pitching, which consists of Roy Doc Holliday, Cliff Lee, Cole Hamels, Roy Oswalt, Vance Worley. And the Phils, they always find ways to make runs, but at certain times, but will they be able to get those timely hits during the playoffs? Because sometimes you need the timely hits during the playoffs, and if they don't come, you're in trouble, just like you were last season when facing the Giants. And which 3 pitchers are you gonna use? Most people will say Halladay, Lee, and Hamels. But you got Worley, who's the rookie, who's a great one, great player. You have Oswalt, who's had a good strong outing this year. So we'll see. And the American League East, Yankees, Red Sox. Who's going to take the division? Who's going to take a wild card? There's a half game in between each of them. Yankees have the edge right now, but the Yankees have questions too, as in who is number 2. Now, according to their contracts, A.J. Burnett would be number 2, but his stats don't relay his contract value. He's pitched 549 and 2/3 innings, and has a in his 3 years as a Yankee has a 4.72 ERA. He gave up 7 runs in tonight's contest against the Twins in an inning and 2/3, and he has a 4.96 ERA this season. Ivan Nova, who's a second-year player, he's 12-4 with a 4.28 ERA. He's worthy to be number 2. Because you got the others are Colon, Garcia, Hughes. Yeah, Colon, Garcia, and Hughes, and Sabathia. Sabathia, in his 3 years, pitched 115 and 2/3 innings more than AJ, and has given up an inning and a half less. So CC Sabathia is the number 1. Who's the number 2, and then who follows up as number 3? Colon probably is the number 3, if not a number 2. Nova should be the number 2, if not a number 3. Hughes, I do not think he is. I mean, Hughes could be in the pen. Hughes has been strong out of the pen. So, we'll see. And he needs to show a little bit more to me about stuff. And then also Garcia's on the DL right now, so you can't really do much about that. So currently you gotta do what you gotta do. They picked up Aaron Laffey off of waivers from the Mariners, who used to be a Cleveland Indian. He didn't do so hot today, I noticed. So pretty much that's my concern. Who is gonna be the number 2? Because you cannot afford to not have a solid number 2. If AJ is gonna be sketchy, then you can't have him as number 2 or a number 3, especially with a 4.96 ERA this season, and 9-10 possibly. He's 9-9 now. He could be 9-10 when you have Ivan Nova, who is 12-4, who is, I think, second on the team in wins behind CC, if not tied with him. I think CC has more wins. You have to play the stats. You cannot play the contracts. You have to play the stats. But I can't. I need to save my cool, because I need to put I need to have this talk with all the others on the discussion zone. And of course we'll have graphics and everything, so you can have some fun. I'm not gonna upset without graphics, so we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have mics too, so it's gonna be fun, because we're making this legit. Alright? I think that's everything. We'll be talking more about the discussion zone. We'll be getting back to football soon. Big Daddy Bo Miller and Aaron Stewart, probably some of the other guys will be joining me for those broadcasts. Intramural softball will probably have tape delayed. You'll be able to catch it right here on YouTube. So that's everything. I'm Mikey Edwards for the Mikey Report and the Discussion Zone, saying see ya, and hopefully we can settle this out. Take care, good night, God bless, and happy birthday to those tomorrow and today.